Too low to the mall, with a couple capos and 100 fucking dimes. Color slaughter gang, you get your shit popped. Jack up with a drum, the bitch ain't never go stop. Be on that 9 war shit.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. So today I'm just gonna be like basically giving you guys some insight on like everything about how I moved and you know all that good stuff. I think one of the main questions I get is why did I move? So as some of you guys know, I moved from Wilmington, Delaware. We're literally like 20 minutes away from Philadelphia, like an hour away from Baltimore, and like 2 hours away from New York and DC. No, we're not the DMV area. A lot of people get that confused. We are not part of the DMV. And I just moved because like I always just felt like I needed to move. Like I was just felt like I was not happy home, like at all. Like I always just felt like something was like missing. Like something was just like calling me to like just be better and like do better. And so I just followed my gut instinct and I just packed up all my stuff and gave majority of it away because like I knew I was traveling very far and very long, and I'm just like, I was telling my friends like Percy feel like I hear God's like, you know, an actual voice, but it was something inside of me that was just like, you know, travel like I had a lot of stuff. Like I had a whole house. I had a whole big house, and I had a bedroom, I had a couch, I had just like a bunch of stuff that I needed to get rid of in order for me to make the transition without making it so like hard on myself. So here we are. We're 2 weeks in. Today's January 1st. And we're 2 weeks in a new apartment. I moved in like the 13th. I went back home for a week. And when I went back home, I just basically like got all my affairs in order. Like I finished the workout. I just, you know, said my goodbyes to my family and my friends. I moved to Tampa with no family, no friends. I did have a friend that used to live down here. She lived down here maybe about like, she just recently moved back maybe like 6-7 months ago. She just moved back home. And one of the biggest things for me was when I wanted to move was to secure a job. I am a registered behavioral therapist. And so that means I work with kids with autism. I implement different programs and help them with certain skills. I collect data. How I got my RBT, I took a 40-hour course through Fruiter University. The company that I was working for, my first RBT company, paid for it. If you guys want to know what that company is, just drop some comments below and I'll be happy to share with you. What else? I want to say another thing was me securing an apartment. I've been on my own since I was 21. Like when I got my first place, I was 21 years old, back in 2020. And I was very, you know, new to having my own place. Prior to that, I was renting out a room. I was renting out a room that same year, 2020. Unfortunately, me and my old roommate got into it. Like it was a whole big thing. You know, she pressed charges on me and everything. Like it was a whole big thing. So, you know, just learning from those mistakes and moving forward, I just was like, I need my own space. Like, you know, so one of my friends, she had owned a duplex and she allowed me to rent out one of the units. So from there on, like I always had my own place. Like I always felt like I could live on my own. Like I always just maintained myself and just like kept myself like in my household. I want to say fast forward, like I moved out Claymont. I lived out Claymont for 2 years. And then a lot of you know, like I end up transitioning from Claymont to Philadelphia. When I lived in Philadelphia, I was living like in the Northeast area. And basically when I had moved there, Philly was okay. Like where I lived at was okay. I wouldn't say the neighborhood was bad or nothing like that. But me personally, it was just a lot with living in Philly. Like the parking was terrible. My car even got towed up there before. Like it was in my own block. Like it was terrible. Like I remember one time my neighbors threw eggs on my car, like literally threw eggs on my car because I parked in their spot. Mind you, it's not even their spot, y'all. Like this is basically like a free public street and anybody can park anywhere. But a lot of people did not play about their parking spots because like their parking spots because they just been there and they just felt like that was their spot. So I think I wanted to say I moved there in January of 2024, yeah. And so I already had a plan like set in, and I was like, oh, like I'm going to move by June. I was supposed to be finished classes in June. Unfortunately, I did not finish classes because I got kicked out of financial aid because of my GPA. During that time, like when I was failing school, I literally was going through the motions. Like I had a lot going on. Like when I went back to school in the beginning of in January, when I went back to school to finish my last few classes, a lot happened. Like I said, a lot. I was moving up Philly. I had like relationship issues. Like it was just a lot, and I wasn't focused, and I just let kind of like everything just take over. Like, and you know, I was in a really bad space. Like I went through something very like, in a sense, traumatic, and then like things like bad stuff was just happening. Like I crashed my car. Like y'all, I crashed my car a month after I got it. Literally, I crashed my car a month after I got it. And it was just like, I was very, very like down, like super down. Like, but like something just was like, you know, don't give up. Like financial aid had wrote me and was basically like, hey, like we're taking away your financial aid, but you can appeal it. So I was just like, I guess it doesn't hurt to try to appeal it, you know, like what can I lose really in a sense of trying to appeal it? And I guess it was nothing, you know, that I could lose. Like I just went ahead and just appealed it. Like, so once I appealed it, fast forward to me appealing my financial aid so I can finally get it back, and they approved it. Like, you know, by the grace of God, like they approved my financial aid. And they was like, you know, you can finish out. We just need to see progress. And, you know, once you finish your classes, you're done. And you can apply for your degree. So that's what I end up doing. So I end up finishing my classes out. I worked really, really hard. I got B's and C's all the rest of the semester. And I officially applied for my degree. And I know I'm going to get it because I meet all the requirements. So I'm really excited about that. So once I was like, okay, I'm done school. I got my RBT certification. And once I realized how big being an RBT was all over the United States, I can move anywhere with that certification. Like when I say anywhere, like you got your certificate letter. You're on the website, so I'm on the website, so I am a registered behavioral therapist. Like you literally can look my name up and I pop up on there. So that's really good. Like that was really big. I didn't know how big it was. So like I said, I just wanted to move because I felt like I didn't have nothing else to lose. Like I felt like I already went through all the negatives and things like that, and I just was like, I am out of here the end of the year. Like I had to leave before the end of the year. I could not start my 2025 in the same place. And like honestly, y'all, like everything just had too many bad memories. Like why I moved. Like a lot of people, you know, they always ask, why did you move? And like, how did you come up with the courage? And I'm just like, I came up with the courage to move because I started going to church this year, and I was just like, I'm walking by faith and not by sight. Like if I didn't you know, basically had faith in God and wanted to walk like in my purpose, which I felt like my purpose was not back home. Like I just genuinely felt like my purpose was not back home. Like it was, I needed something bigger and better, and I just felt like I would just reaching new levels in my life, like spiritually, mentally, financially, everything. Like I just felt like I was just reaching new levels, and I was just like, I gotta get up out of there, like ASAP. Some other things is like, how did I move? So I moved, I gave away everything in my old apartment, only in my old house. The only thing I kept was my clothes, my dog, and my car. That's it. That's the only 3 things I kept. Like, I personally feel like when you're moving somewhere so far away and you're starting over, literally start over. If it's not your necessities, if you don't need it, don't take it. Like, I even still have a bunch of clothes and stuff at my grandmother's house, mainly winter, because I'm down here in Florida right now and it's January 1st and it's 80 degrees outside. So, like, obviously you don't need winter coats, you don't need Ugg boots, you don't need none of that. Like, you literally need jeans, shirts, and a few hoodies, because it does get chilly at night. Like, sometimes I step on my patio at night and I need a little jacket. But other than that, no, you don't need a jacket. Like, you don't need nothing heavy. You just need like basic lightweight clothes, because it does get hot. What's another thing? I think another thing is, how did I find a job? Like I said, I'm an RBT, so I went on Indeed and I just applied for a bunch of random RBT jobs. Like I wouldn't lie to y'all, I probably applied for maybe about 6 jobs before I came down here. And when I say all 6 of them called me back, all 6 of them called me back. And I found one job that was consistent, full-time, professional, and I genuinely seen like, okay, I can maybe grow within this company. If you guys want to know like how much I make and stuff like that, just simply go on Indeed and you can look up RBT jobs and you can see what they start at. Most RBT jobs go up to about $32 an hour, $35 an hour is the max rate I've seen. And we got some parents that maybe want even like private, that pay for private services through a regular BCBA. So that was another thing. How did I find my apartment? I found my apartment through apartments.com. Like, I was literally looking for apartments, and yo, I'm not gonna lie, like when I first like was looking for apartments, my credit was not good, like at all. Like it went completely down, like because I made a mistake. Like I got my credit back to where it used to be in good standing, and then I went ahead and just completely messed it up. So honestly, like I got denied for like 2 places. Or it wasn't that I had bad like rental history or nothing on my credit. It was more so like the credit score. And like a lot of places, like I even forgot with my own apartment in Claymont, they wanted me to have like a 620. So like that was fine because my credit, like I said, was good. I just got a new car. Well, no, I've been having my new car, but I just had got like, you know, everything was just in order. I was paying my bills on time, my credit cards on time. I was good. I had like 3-4 credit cards. Everything was good. Like, and I was paying them and I was using them appropriately. You know, like I said, things started to take a turn in about 2023 is when things started to kind of take a turn. And so, yeah, I just went on apartments.com. Like I said, I got denied for like 2 of them. But like I said, I didn't really let that discourage me, but y'all know apartment application fees are expensive. I paid $150 for one. I paid $175 for one. This apartment that I'm at now was $250. So if you do the math, y'all, that is... Yo, I paid over $500 in apartment fees. Over $500. You know, technically I got into one, so I don't count really the $250, but yes, I still put it in there because that's how much I spent literally just on apartment applications. Like I said, 2 of them denied me, and then one of them really wanted one of them denied me and the other one wanted a really high, like basically like deposit. They wanted like to claim they did not want all that, like at all. Like they wanted security deposit, first month's rent. That's it. And then I end up using like having a prorated rent because I always moved in like the middle of the month. So once again, that was like the biggest thing. And then like I don't have any friends, any family down here. So I'm literally just like going from scratch. Like I'm literally just going like with the motions. Like I'm literally just like taking it all in and just, you know, focusing on what works for me, and that's pretty much it. Like it's a brand new start. It's, you know, a new beginnings. I'm real big on new beginnings. I'm real big on fresh starts. I really think they're really important for everybody. And yeah, like, you know, just, you know, if you're thinking about moving, you know, from another state, I would just follow those tips. Make sure you have a solid career. Make sure you have a housing. I didn't move with anybody. I don't have a co-signer, nothing. This is all me. And I genuinely just wanted to do it for me. Like I said, I don't mind living alone. I've been living alone for years. Like, so that never bothered me to live alone. Like, I feel like I don't need a roommate or anything like that. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, and this is just the start. I could stay here for a year and then who knows? I may can move into a townhouse, you know, maybe something bigger. So when my family comes down, they have a room to go stay in, you know, stuff like that. Like, but just make sure you see the area. Like if you're moving to somewhere like New York, obviously you don't need a car. Everybody gets on the train, the bus, everything. So if you just move somewhere like New York, you don't need a car. But somewhere like Florida, Texas, Vegas, because I see a lot of people move there. Cali, like I personally feel like depending where you're at and depending where your job is, you need a vehicle. My job is 30 minutes away. My commute is 30 minutes. But I personally feel like you need a solid just foundation. As long as you got your foundation, everything will work out for you. Like everything. And you just really got to muster up the courage to just leave everything and everyone you know back home. Like, and you always got to think about, like, I can always go back home. I can always go see my family. The flight from Tampa to freaking Philadelphia is 2 hours. If I really wanted to go home and I really get homesick so bad, sometimes the flights are $46. Sometimes. So it's like, I think the most expensive flight I paid for going home on one way is like $100. Like, and that's still not bad. But yeah, like I think the biggest thing is just have a reason and then go from there. And then once you find that reason, then you find that purpose of you moving, then set your foundation. Like I said, just make sure you have a house, a car, a job. Just if you got those 3 things, everything else will just come to you. TikTok is like our best friend now. Like when I'm bored and I don't know what to do, I personally go on TikTok and I find something to do. It's a bunch of like free stuff you can do around Tampa. Like it's things that's over that's free. You got Hyde Park, you got Sparkman Wharf. Like these places have restaurants and clubs and things like that, but you don't have to go into them. Like if you want to just get out of your apartment and just, you know, have some fun or just get some fresh air, go to these places. They have plenty of sitting space, like where people just sit there, play with their kids. Like I said, me personally, I just like to get out the house. How did I pick the location of my apartment? I just really looked at the reviews. I looked at like what was around me. I was 5 minutes away from the Buccaneer Stadium, 12 minutes from the airport. Like I'm in a really good area, like really good. And I think it's really important that, you know, you pick a good area to live in as well. Like, so far my neighborhood is quiet. They say Tampa is like actually one of the safest cities. So I personally haven't heard anything besides loud music in my development. Other than that, like that's pretty much what it is. Like you just gotta just have the courage and just make the move. So yeah, that's my advice. And stay tuned. I'll show you guys my apartment, and I'll show you guys some like cleaning tips and some hacks, and how I got my car down here, how I saved a lot of money, not traveling, getting my car towed down and things like that. So yeah, just stay tuned. Thank you.
Yeah.